In this video, I'm going to talk about, is this a good time to buy a house, or is this a good time to wait or just not buy a house? For the first time since the year 2000, interest rates have peaked to 8%. We saw inflation go up a couple of years ago at 8%. We are seeing home prices at the highest in the last 20, 30, maybe even 40 years. So the big question is, if you're a first-time buyer, should I buy a house now or should I wait? This sure is a crazy market and a challenging market, whether to buy or to wait. With all these things happening, high prices, high inflation rate, home prices, this is a crazy and challenging market. The economy is very unpredictable. Home prices have gone up, inflation has gone up, interest rates have gone up, inventory is the lowest in record history. So what to do? We found out with a lot of research and the trends happening that there are three categories of buyers who want to buy. So in this video, I'm going to talk about those three categories. Thanks for visiting my channel. I'm Mike Patel with First Time Real Estate, and I give out pertinent updates and trends in the housing market. The first group that I'm going to talk about falls into this category. I can't afford to buy a house today. And that's a great group to understand, because the question is, why can a lot of people not afford to buy a house? Well, several reasons. First of all, the average or the median price home in USA today is around $430,000. So to buy a house, an average home today, you need a household income of about $115,000 in today's market. And from what I understand, the average household income today is less than $80,000 a year. So if the household income on average is $80,000 and it takes $115,000 to buy an average home, that's a big dilemma. So that's a big issue to consider. According to the company's estimates, home buyers must earn $114,627 to afford the cost of a typical medium price home, up by 15%, $15,285 compared to a year ago, and up by more than 50% since the start of the pandemic. That's about $40,000 more than the income earned by a typical American household, writes Redfin, considering the 2022 median household income was roughly $75,000. So adding to this dilemma is the high rent cost, the high food cost, the high gas prices. Everything is high. So how is one to save money? First of all, they don't make enough money. They're barely making ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck. So if one is to buy a house, let's say on a $400,000 house at a 3.5% average government loan of 3.5%, you need to save up $14,000 approximately, plus moving cost and closing costs. So let's say you need to save up $20,000. So if you're making an income of $75,000 or $80,000, which is less than the average, how are you going to save? So that's a dilemma. So this is why the first group is in a dilemma that they cannot buy a house. They may have to wait 1 or 2 or 3 years to finally buy a house. In USA, the affordability right now is less than 65%. That means 65% can own a house today. In California, where I am at, the affordability index is only 15%. The average house in California is over $800,000. So you have to have an income of over $200,000 today to buy a house in California, let alone the gas prices and food costs and everything else that's very high, because California is a very expensive state to live in. So if you are going to wait and buy, then here are some things you may want to do while you are waiting. First of all is you set a goal or a commitment to buy a house within a year or 2 years or 3 years. In the meantime, you may want to start saving money, cut your expenses, start living lean and mean, start saving every dollar you can, make extra money working or improving your skills so you can get a better job, or even switching your jobs, because when you switch a job, instead of getting 2 or 3 or 4% raise in your payroll, you may get 10% more raise in your switching a job. You may want to stay with your parents or your friends. So by not paying the high rents, which are very high right now nationwide, you may stay with your parents, friends, family, share a room, and save the rent money. So all these things you can do to prepare for your down payment, to prepare to get qualified for a loan, whether the house goes up or down. So you are ready within 6 months, a year, or 2 years. The other things you can start doing is pay off your debt. If you have a car payment, try to pay it off. If you have any credit card bills, any other bills, medical bills, try to pay them off, so that the lower your payments per month, the more you can qualify for. And the other key thing you can do is make sure that your credit score is good or better than average. The higher your credit score, the better rates you can get. So the better rates you can get, the lower payments you have. So work on your credit score, work on your approval letter, work on your savings, work on your expense cutting, and that's your journey to own a house. The second group of buyers or first-time home buyers is the group that says, I'm just going to wait and see, and there's no way I'm going to pay 8% interest rate or 7% interest rate. So this is the group that's going to wait and see and just trying to catch the best interest rate. I talked earlier about the group that cannot afford or cannot be qualified. And one of the reasons they cannot get qualified is, as you know, about 2 years ago, the rates were 3% or lower. So according to my income, I might have been qualified to buy a $400,000 house. Now that the rates are 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%, me as a buyer, I've been thrown out of the market. The second category that I'm talking about are waiting to see if the rates come down for several reasons, and I can understand that. They could be because they can reduce their payments or they can buy a better home. A house you can buy at $400,000 at 5%, and the same house at 8%, you may have to buy something at $350,000. Or if the rates go down to 4%, you can afford a $600,000 house, just to give an idea. So this is the group of people that want to wait and see if the home prices come down. So the question is, how long will you wait to buy a house? How long will you wait for the interest to go down or the home prices to go down? According to the Feds, here is an interest rate projection. The Fed is expected to cut interest rate next year, though markets and economists disagree about how many rate cuts there will be. Future markets forecast there will be 4 or 5 rate cuts in 2024, amounting to 1/4 percentage point each. The cuts they predict should start by spring and ultimately drop interest rate as low as 4% to 4.25%. Wow, if the rates go down to 4 to 4.25% for the home buyers that are waiting, that'll be a gold mine, that'll be a jackpot. So instead of buying a house at $400,000 at 7%, you may be able to buy a house at $500,000 at 4%. So you can buy a better house, or you can buy the same house of $400,000 at 4 to 4.25%, and your mortgage interest payments will be way too low. So that'll be a big advantage if you are just waiting. Sometimes it's a disadvantage to wait and see, because one thing is for sure, you cannot chase the market. You cannot predict the market. So by waiting and waiting, maybe the price will keep going up. There's a prediction done by Mortgage Bankers Association, Realtor.com, Fannie Mae, and they all combined prediction is that the home prices will go up anywhere from 2 to 3% nationwide for the next 1 or 2 or 3 years, even with these high prices. So if you keep waiting, the home prices keep going up. So one thing that you could do if you're waiting is that be very well prepared to buy a house. You are waiting, you are looking at homes, you are doing some research in your neighborhood, you know the neighborhood that you want to go to, you've already talked to a lender. So if there's a house comes on the market, if the rates drop tomorrow, you can jump on it and buy a house. So if you're on a wait and see mode, know the area that you want. Have a realtor working for you. Drive around, research the prices. You may watch prices where home prices are coming down. Some sellers still want a very high price and they're dropping the prices gradually, because on average, homes are selling in this market as of October 2023. The average days on the market is about 23 days. But if you see some homes that are 80 days, 90 days, 100 days on the market, and your realtor can help you find that, you may want to make an offer on those and ask them less than what they're asking for. So if you have all that ready, as soon as the price drop or as soon as the rates drop, the feds are thinking about it, you can jump on it and start making offers. You are ready to go. So let's talk about the group number 3. But before I do that, thanks for watching my channel. And if you can subscribe and make some comments on what you're thinking about the housing market, we would really appreciate it. The third group is the group that is ready to buy. They want to buy now. They are ready, willing, and able to buy. And here are 3 reasons why people buy in this market. There's 7 different reasons, but here's the 3 top reasons. Those are called the 3 Ds: a death in the family, a divorce, or diapers. Diapers in the sense, maybe you're a young family and you have a baby, or second baby, or third baby, and you want to buy a bigger house, or you're staying in a rental or staying in a condo and you want a bigger house, or you have seniors living with you, or seniors want to move in with you, so now you need a bigger home, or you may have to sell your home here, let's say in California, and move to North Carolina or Florida or wherever where the seniors are, your parents are, or your siblings are. So these are the reasons people have to move. Of course, there's job relocation. So this group that is ready, willing, and able to buy, don't mind paying the higher rates. Have the down payment ready. Have an approval letter at today's prices, at today's rents or interest rates, and they are ready to buy and jump on it. In fact, the market has slowed down, of course, because of two main reasons. The interest rates are very high, so a lot of people cannot afford it. And of course, the prices are high, so a lot of people don't want to pay the higher prices. But this group want to buy a house. They are paying high rents anyways. If you are paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month rent, why not buy a house or a condo and pay the same mortgage and get tax benefits? So this group is ready, willing, and able to buy. And that's a group that keeps the economy going, the housing market going. And we are still seeing in the homes under $500,000 today nationwide, there are multiple offers, even with the higher rates of today, 6.5% to 7% interest rate. Even though the prices have gone up in the last 10, 15 years, there are still multiple offers that we are seeing. And homes are selling at market value, at market prices. There are a few homes that are not selling, but those are the sellers that are trying to be greedy and want a lot more than the market can afford. If the house is worth $400,000, they're asking for $450,000, $460,000, $470,000. Those are not going to sell. But a lot of homes priced right, marketed right, are selling today. And this group that is ready, willing, and able to buy has some advantages. One of the advantages is that if we talk about the group 1 and 2, they are waiting to buy or they don't want to buy. So the people who want to buy right now has less competition, less multiple offers than before because a lot of people are out marketed. Home prices have slowed down. They have gone up and up and up, but they're either staying depending on your local market. Texas is different than Florida, and California is different. Idaho is different. Montana is different. So depending on your local market, home prices have stabilized in some areas. They're not jumping at 2, 3, 4, 5% per year as they did. So you're buying at less acceleration of the home prices. The other advantage is that once you buy a house, you're going to have a lot of tax benefits. You're going to start building equity. Every time you make a payment, you're going to start building more equity and reducing your principal amount in your home. So you have started a journey where you're building a lot of equity. The other advantage, if you are buying right now, especially if you're buying new construction, is that a lot of the home builders like D.R. Horton are giving cut interest rate. There was a time a couple of months ago, they were offering 5% interest rate and some other incentives up to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per home. I just sold a house in Whittier, California, and the builders gave my clients $40,000 in options and closing costs just because they bought the house and we're going to close before December. So the advantage right now is because the market has slowed, the buying activity has slowed down. Those who are buying are getting better rates, better deals, especially from new construction homes. They are giving you rate buy downs and they are giving you free upgrades, or they're giving you closing costs, which is a big advantage. And these buyers are taking advantage of these deals that may not come around because these homes are getting sold. And once those homes are sold with new construction, those deals won't be around. And the other reason the third group is buying is because, yes, they know they are paying 6.5%, maybe 7%, or I know some people that paid 7.5% a few months back, in fact, my clients, but their thinking is they will refinance once the rates drop. Of course, you have to have a certain amount of equity in the home. Prices may go down or they may go up, but according to the statistics and predictions, home prices are going to go up. So if you buy right now at 7% or 8% and the rates go down to 4%, hopefully you will have enough equity in your home so that you can refinance. And also you don't have prepayment penalty on your mortgages. So when you do get a loan, don't get a loan with prepayment penalty so that you can refinance in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years when the rates drop. So that's the thinking that a lot of the buyers that are doing right now, that are shopping right now and ready to buy. The best thing that the third category of buyers are doing is that they are doing two things. Number one, they're starting the clock of appreciation. As soon as you buy a house, you start the clock where your home on average appreciates 3 to 4% per year statistically. So that means in the next 20, 30 years, your house will double in value. And the second clock that you're starting is your clock of you paying off your mortgage and adding principal every month. Imagine you have a 30-year loan, you're paying mortgages, which includes your principal. So every month that you pay for the next 10, 20 years, you're going to cut your principal every month. So that's the best clock that you have started, the clock of appreciation and the clock of paying off your principal debt. And also you get a lot of tax benefits. Thanks for watching my channel and visiting. I hope you subscribed. Please watch this video. Very helpful information.